All right, everyone get ready because we are going deep into AI today. This deep dive, we're looking at January 30th and 31st. And we've got a ton of sources, news articles, Reddit discussions, Discord experiments, and even official company announcements. So what's our mission? We want to bring you up to speed on everything happening in AI, whether you're prepping for a meeting, trying to stay ahead of the game, or just love this stuff like we do.
What's really interesting about this time in AI is how fast everything's moving.
Yeah.
New models, research hardware advancements, it's hard to keep up with it all. So that's why we're here to break down the most important stuff and help you navigate this exciting and sometimes overwhelming world.
Definitely agree with that. So first up, OpenAI is making some waves with their new O3 mini model. They designed this one specifically for more complex tasks like science, math, coding, that kind of thing. They're saying it outperforms their older O1 full model, especially on benchmarks like Dan Hendricks HLE and those text-to-SQL evaluations.
I think this move to more specialized models is really interesting. It kind of feels like a move away from that one-size-fits-all approach,
Yeah.
leading to more efficient and more powerful tools for what people actually need.
Yeah. And this is where things get really interesting. OpenAI actually followed what DeepSeek did and just slashed the price of O1 Mini and O3 Mini by a huge 63%.
Mm.
Pro users, they now have unlimited access to O3 Mini highs through ChatGPT and the API. And even free users can give it a shot with the Reason button in ChatGPT. I mean, they're trying to make these really powerful models more accessible to everyone. That's a bold move.
It is bold. It could really change the game when it comes to people actually using these models, but it makes you think, is this sustainable? They're trying to balance making it accessible with actually making money.
That's true. And speaking of walking that line, the reaction from the community's been, well, mixed, let's just say. On Reddit and Discord, people are happy about the new features and the lower prices, but also pointing out some weird stuff, like the naming conventions, O3 Mini High, GPT-4. It's not exactly clear. And then there are limits on file uploads. And some people are reporting some performance issues, especially with coding and database queries.
Yeah, these small quirks, they might seem minor, but they could have a big impact down the line. It needs to be easy to use and work well with other tools for people to really adopt it. Something OpenAI needs to keep in mind.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the other big name, DeepSeek and their controversial R1 model. On the one hand, it's got some seriously impressive specs, aggressive quantization running on this crazy 1.58-bit dynamic form and performance that's got people excited. But then there's the flip side.
You mean the tool call failures, the incomplete file reads, and that database leak where over 1 million log lines were exposed?
Yeah, exactly. Not a great look. What do you think about DeepSeek's strategy here? It feels like they're pushing the limits, but maybe at the cost of stability?
It's high risk, high reward for sure. They are really pushing the limits of what's possible. That 1.58-bit dynamic form, it's like a super aggressive quantization technique, squeezing that model into a tiny space to get the performance up. Risky, but if it works, it could be a total game changer. However, that database leak, that's a major setback. Gaining back that trust, that's a long and difficult road.
Yeah, for sure. And this has really fueled the whole debate comparing DeepSeek's performance with OpenAI, especially when you bring in the hardware demands and the cost of GPUs going up and up. We're talking NVIDIA's RTX 5090 VRAM constraints, DeepSeek's massive GPU investments, over 50,000 units. It's wild out there. Wait, they spent how much on GPUs? Maybe I need to rethink my budget.
The hardware arms race is real,
Yeah.
but it shows how seriously they're taking this. And it also points to a crucial thing. Having access to powerful hardware is becoming more and more important.
Yeah, that's a good point. But you know what? It's not just OpenAI and DeepSeek anymore. We've got some interesting new players coming up, like Mistral Small 3 with its impressive throughput and pretty competitive pricing. Then there's Allen AI's Tulu 3, an open source beast built on Llama 3.1. Some are even saying it could rival GPT-4 Mini. It's an explosion of new models. Things are getting shaken up.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. More players mean more variety and more innovation, and that pushes the whole field forward.
Absolutely. And with all these new models popping up, there's still the debate about open versus closed weights, like the Quinn 2.5 variants now available on the PocketPal mobile app. It's a perfect example. You've got the accessibility and transparency of open weights, but then there's the worry about potential misuse. What a dilemma.
It's a tough one. It's at the heart of the whole open versus closed weights debate. Open weights mean collaboration and accessibility, but also concerns about safety and control. Finding that balance will be key as AI continues to evolve.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of evolution, let's talk about something I'm personally really curious about. The advancements in AI reasoning and reinforcement learning. Researchers are coming up with some seriously clever stuff that could change how AI learns and solves problems, like inference time rejection sampling. It uses a reward model to choose the best output from several different samples, kind of like a built-in quality check for your AI.
It's a good example of using techniques from other fields, like statistics, to make AI better. Shows how AI research is really pulling from everywhere.
For sure, for sure. And then you've got critique fine-tuning, or CFT. They're saying it can boost performance by 10% over the standard ways. It's like AI taking a self-improvement course, learning from mistakes, refining its outputs.
It's a promising technique, but no magic bullet. CFT is really interesting because it shows how feedback can be used to improve AI models. It's about guiding them to produce better and more reliable outputs.
Okay, now this backtracking vector thing and chain of thought models. Explain it to me like I'm 5, but also like I kind of get AI. I'm interested, but a little lost.
Okay, so imagine you're in a maze and you hit a dead end. You go back and try another path. That's kind of what backtracking vectors do. They allow AI models to try out and refine their reasoning paths, like giving them a debugger for their thought process.
So it's like AI is learning to think strategically, to double-check its work and course correct. That's really cool.
Exactly. These advancements in CoT are really important for making AI models that can explain their reasoning. Transparency and interpretability are key to building trust in AI.
Yeah, I see that. And on the reinforcement learning side, techniques like GRPO are getting a lot of attention. Group relative policy optimization. It's all about reducing those heavy compute demands by ditching the value model and normalizing advantages per rollout group.
It's a big step towards making reinforcement learning more efficient and scalable. And the sufficiency is key. Because as models get more complex and data intensive, that demand for powerful GPUs and infrastructure, it's only going to grow.
Which brings us to the unsung heroes of AI hardware and infrastructure. And let me tell you, the investments are mind-blowing. DeepSeek, for example, has put in over $1.3 billion into server CapEx. And another $715 million into operating costs? That's some serious commitment.
Definitely. These massive investments show how much people believe in AI's potential. Companies and governments are realizing that AI isn't some far-off idea anymore. It's happening now, and it needs serious resources.
Yeah, I get that. But even with all that investment, there are worries about hardware holding things back, like the upcoming NVIDIA RTX 5090. There's some skepticism. Some experts are predicting it won't have enough VRAM for the next wave of AI models, and that we might need GPUs with a crazy 72 GB to 1 TB of VRAM.
Those concerns about GPU limits show how important it is to balance hardware and software development. As AI models get bigger and more complex, hardware needs to keep up to make sure researchers have what they need to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
It's like this constant game of leapfrog. Hardware and software pushing each other to the limit. But let's remember, AI is ultimately about building tools that people can use. And that's where all these amazing developer tools and frameworks come in.
Exactly. Making user-friendly tools and frameworks is crucial for making AI accessible to everyone. When it's easier for developers to build and use AI applications, we can unlock the potential of AI across industries and all sorts of different areas.
I totally agree. And we're seeing some incredible stuff happening. Like, for instance, LambIndex and Llama Report now work with O3 Mini right out of the box, which is huge for developers building multi-agent systems and creating automatic reports. Then there's LangChain and LangGraph. Both are putting out new tools to make research easier and bring techniques to production, like the Advanced RG Plus Agents Cookbook and Research Canvas ANA. And this whole growing ecosystem of developer tools like SmallAgents and Together AI's cookbooks, it's all about providing practical guidance on building AI agents and integrating search capabilities.
These tools are really changing things. They're making AI accessible to everyone and empowering developers to build innovative new applications.
It's amazing to see. But for now, let's turn our attention to the big players in the AI industry. They've been making some strategic moves that are definitely going to shape the landscape for years to come.
It's like a high-stakes game of chess. Every move has the potential to change everything.
You got that right. And speaking of strategic moves, OpenAI looks like they're prepping for a huge funding round. Rumors are swirling about a potential $40 billion raise. This comes at a time when there's some doubt about their open source strategy, especially with DeepSeek right there on their heels.
It sounds like they've got big plans. It'll be interesting to see how they balance their commitment to open research with the need to make money and stay ahead of the competition.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But while OpenAI is working on their future, some are wondering if Apple has already missed the boat. They've been pretty quiet on the AI front, Even though they've been putting resources into self-driving cars and headsets, some experts are even saying they're playing catch-up. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to all this pressure.
Apple's approach has been a bit more cautious and deliberate than some of the others. They've focused on integrating AI into existing products, rather than making big announcements about cutting-edge models. Whether that strategy will work in the long run is still up in the air.
It's slow and steady versus fast and furious. Only time will tell who wins that race. But while Apple is figuring out their next move, Microsoft is making headlines. With a 21% year-over-year growth in search and news, this really shows how important web search is for grounding LLM outputs. It's all about connecting those AI-generated insights with real-world information. And it looks like Microsoft is doing a pretty good job at it.
Microsoft's success in integrating AI into their search engine shows how powerful it can be to use existing data and infrastructure to improve user experience. It reminds us that AI isn't just about building new models, it's also about finding creative ways to use those models to solve existing problems.
And of course, we can't forget about Google. They've been super active on the AI front, unveiling Flash 2.0 for Gemini, upgrading Imagen 3, and pushing AI integration even further into Google Workspace. And with research models like WeatherNext, they're going full steam ahead, no signs of slowing down.
Google's aggressive approach to AI development reflects their resources and their commitment to staying on top in areas like search, cloud computing, and mobile operating systems. They're betting big on AI to transform their core businesses and create totally new opportunities.
It's bold, but they've definitely got the resources to make it happen. Now, let's zoom out a bit and look beyond the big tech companies. Because outside of those giants, the online AI communities give us a really interesting look at the impact this technology is having in the real world. Reddit and Discord are full of insights, experiments, and discussions, giving us a glimpse into how people are actually using AI, talking about it and debating it. What are some of the big themes you're seeing in these communities?
I think one of the most striking things is how much engagement and enthusiasm there is. These communities are so active and passionate about AI. They're always trying out new tools and techniques, sharing their discoveries and discussing the ethical and societal implications.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how these communities are shaping AI from the ground up. They're really driving force behind making AI accessible and relevant to more and more people.
Absolutely. They're making AI less mysterious and less intimidating,
Mhm.
creating a space where people can learn, experiment, and work together without feeling overwhelmed.
It's like a global AI think tank, powered by passionate people from all walks of life. But let's get into some specifics. What are some of the hot topics and debates happening online?
One thing that comes up a lot is how accessible AI models and tools are. People are talking about the cost of hardware, the complexity of software, and the need for easier to use interfaces.
That makes sense. As AI gets more powerful and sophisticated, we need to make sure everyone can use it, not just the tech experts or those with a ton of money.
You got it. And these communities are doing a lot to advocate for that. They're pushing developers to make more affordable and user-friendly tools, and calling for more transparency in how AI models are developed and used.
It's great to see how they're using their voices to shape the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone. But beyond the bigger issues of access and ethics, what are some of the specific things people are buzzing about online?
Well, on Reddit, for example, there's been a lot of talk about how models are named, especially the non-sequential naming of models like O3 Mini High versus GPT-4. It seems like people want more clarity and consistency in how models are labeled.
It sounds like the community wants developers to communicate better and be more transparent. As AI models get more complex and specialized, it's super important to make sure their names are clear, intuitive, and consistent.
I agree. Clear communication is essential for building trust and understanding in AI. Users need to be able to easily identify and tell the difference between different models, especially as the number of models keeps growing so fast.
Makes sense. And of course, it wouldn't be Reddit without people comparing DeepSeek R1 and OpenAI models, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see people go back and forth. Some love DeepSeek's open source approach. Others are frustrated with its inconsistencies in performance.
Yeah, it shows the tension between open and closed approaches to AI development. Open source models are great for collaboration and accessibility, but they can also lead to more variation in how well they perform and their quality. Closed models offer more control and potentially higher levels of safety and security, but they can also limit innovation and competition.
It's a tough trade-off, no easy answers. And speaking of DeepSeek, that recent database breach has raised some serious concerns about data safety and user trust. Now, a lot of users are talking about self-hosted solutions, showing how much people want more control over their personal data.
Those security worries from the DeepSeek breach show how important strong data protection is in AI. As we trust these systems with more and more of our data, security and privacy have to be top priorities.
Absolutely, it's something we can't ignore. But let's not focus on the negative, because even with the challenges, there's a ton of excitement and optimism in these communities. People are genuinely excited about what AI can do to solve real problems and make life better.
That's one of the best parts of being part of the AI community. There's this shared sense of purpose and this belief that we're on the edge of something really transformative.
It's a privilege to be a part of this journey, to see firsthand the amazing progress and all the potential that's out there. But before we get too lost in our AI dreams, let's come back to the present and look at some of the specific experiences and insights being shared in these communities. Because beyond the theories and philosophical debates, there's a ton of practical knowledge and real-world experience being shared that can be really valuable for anyone working with AI.
You're right. These communities are full of practical tips, tricks, and workarounds. It's like having a global network of AI mentors and collaborators right there at your fingertips.
Like a secret weapon in the AI arms race. But let's get specific. What are some of the most interesting and valuable things you found online?
One thing that's been coming up a lot on Discord is the limitations of current GPUs, especially when it comes to VRAM. Even with 2 GPUs, some people are hitting limits trying to run large models locally. Seems like the need for more VRAM is only going to get bigger as these models grow.
That makes you think about the future of AI hardware. Will we see more specialized hardware designed just for AI? Or will general-purpose GPUs keep evolving?
It's a great question, and one that's being debated a lot in these communities. Some think specialized hardware is the only way to keep up with AI's growing needs. Others think general-purpose GPUs will stay on top. Only time will tell. But it's exciting to watch it all unfold.
It's like a technological arms race. Hardware and software pushing each other to the limit. But besides those hardware worries, there's also a lot of excitement about the new tools and techniques making AI more accessible and user-friendly. These tools are giving a whole new generation of developers and creators the power of AI in ways we couldn't have imagined before.
Yeah, it's amazing to see AI becoming more democratic. It's not just for big tech companies and research labs anymore. It's something anyone can use and benefit from.
I totally agree. And we're seeing this play out in real time online. People from all walks of life are connecting, sharing their knowledge, experiences, and their love for AI. It's really inspiring to see.
It really is. These communities show the power of human collaboration and innovation. Proof that when we work together and share knowledge, we can do incredible things.
Well said. And speaking of incredible things, let's focus on some of the specific tools and techniques that are creating all this buzz. Because beyond the theoretical stuff, there's some really cool things happening on a practical level. What are some of the standout examples you've found?
One tool that's been getting a lot of attention is Aider v0.73.0. It now supports both O3 Mini and R1. People are reporting much better results with their coding, which shows just how powerful these advanced models are.
Sounds like Aider is a real game changer for developers.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see how these advanced models are being integrated into easy-to-use tools that anyone can use no matter their technical skills.
Exactly. And Aider is just one example. There's a whole ecosystem of open source tools and libraries out there, making it easier than ever to get started with AI.
It feels like a golden age for AI development. But with all these new tools coming out so fast, it can be tough to keep up. What advice would you give to someone just starting out in AI? Where should they begin?
I'd say dive into these online communities. There's no better way to learn about the latest trends, tools, and techniques than by connecting with others who are passionate about AI.
That's great advice. These communities are packed with knowledge and a fantastic source of support and inspiration. But besides joining online communities, what else can someone do to learn about AI and develop their skills?
There are tons of resources online, from free courses and tutorials to paid boot camps and certifications. And don't be afraid to experiment. The best way to learn AI is by doing. Start with small personal projects that you're interested in. This will give you practical experience and boost your confidence.
Love that advice. It's all about getting your hands dirty and diving into the code. But speaking of diving in, let's take a closer look at some of the specific use cases and applications that are generating the most excitement in these communities. Because beyond all the theory and philosophy, it's the real-world stuff that's really capturing people's imagination. What are some of the most interesting and promising areas where you're seeing AI being used in really innovative ways?
One area that's really exciting is the use of AI in creative fields, like art, music, and writing.
That's fascinating. We usually think of AI as all about logic and reason. So it's really interesting to see it being used to boost creativity. Can you share some examples of how AI is being used in these creative areas?
Of course, we're seeing AI being used to create original artwork, compose music, and even write poetry and screenplays. There are AI tools that can look at a bunch of images or some text and then generate new creative content based on that. It's like having a creative partner who can help you brainstorm ideas and explore new artistic possibilities.
That's so powerful, like having an AI muse. But beyond the arts, where else are you seeing AI make a big impact?
Another area that's getting a lot of attention is healthcare.
That makes sense. Healthcare is complex, with tons of data, perfect for AI-powered solutions. What are some of the most exciting things happening in AI-powered healthcare?
We're seeing AI being used to diagnose diseases earlier and with more accuracy, to develop personalized treatment plans, and even help with surgery. Imagine an AI tool that can analyze a patient's genes, their medical history, and lifestyle to create a truly personalized treatment plan.
That sounds like the future of medicine. What about AI-assisted surgery? It sounds kind of sci-fi, but also super promising.
It's already happening. AI-powered robots can help surgeons with complex procedures, giving them more precision and control. And AI systems can watch patients during surgery, alerting doctors to problems before they get serious.
It's mind-blowing how AI is already changing healthcare and saving lives. And as this technology keeps getting better, the possibilities are endless.
You're right. AI could revolutionize healthcare, make it more accessible, affordable, and effective for everyone.
It's an exciting thought. But let's switch gears again and talk about AI in business and finance.
AI is changing how businesses work and make decisions. From automating tasks and analyzing data to predicting trends and managing risk, AI is becoming essential for companies of all sizes.
It's like having a digital brain that can process massive amounts of information and give us insights we could never figure out on our own. Can you give me some specific examples of how AI is being used in the business world?
Sure, we're seeing AI used to personalize marketing campaigns, optimize supply chains, and detect fraud. Imagine an AI system that can analyze customer data and create targeted marketing messages that are more likely to work.
That's amazing. It's like AI is taking the guesswork out of marketing. What about supply chains? How is AI being used there?
AI systems can analyze data from sensors, weather patterns, and shipping schedules to find the best delivery routes and predict potential problems. This can help companies save time and money and make sure their products get to customers on time.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI is helping businesses become more efficient, resilient, and responsive to customers. What about fraud detection? How is AI helping with that?
AI systems can analyze financial transactions to find patterns that might mean fraudulent activity. This helps banks and other financial institutions prevent fraud and protect their customers.
It's remarkable how AI is helping to keep our financial systems safe. But beyond these specific applications, how is AI changing the business landscape overall?
AI is making businesses rethink how they do things. You can't just rely on intuition and experience anymore. Companies need to embrace data-driven decisions and use AI tools to stay competitive.
It sounds like AI is a must-have for businesses in the 21st century.
Exactly. If you don't adapt, you'll get left behind.
It's adapt or die in the digital age, right?
Yeah.
But let's move on from the corporate world and talk about another area where AI has huge potential: education.
AI could change how we teach and learn, make education more personalized, engaging, and effective. Imagine a world where every student has a personal learning assistant that can tailor their education to their needs and goals.
That sounds amazing. For both students and teachers, how is AI being used to create this personalized learning experience?
AI-powered tutoring systems can adapt to each student's learning style and pace, providing targeted instruction and support. They can figure out where a student is struggling and offer extra practice or explanations.
So it's like having a personal tutor available 24/7. Who knows exactly what you need to work on? That's incredible.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual instruction. AI can also help teachers create more engaging and interactive learning experiences.
That's awesome. How is AI doing that?
Imagine AI-powered virtual field trips that can take students to ancient Rome or the Amazon rainforest, or AI-powered games that teach complex ideas in a fun way.
Wow. It sounds like AI is taking education beyond the traditional classroom, making learning more immersive and exciting. But what about teachers? How is AI helping them?
AI can help teachers with things like grading, planning lessons, and even figuring out which students might be falling behind. This frees up their time so they can focus on teaching and mentoring.
It's amazing how AI is transforming education at every level. empowering both students and teachers to be their best.
Absolutely. And as AL technology gets even better, we'll see even more innovative ways to use it in education, blurring the lines between human and machine intelligence in the classroom.
It's a really exciting time to be involved in education. But before we get carried away with all the possibilities, it's important to remember that AI isn't a perfect solution. There are challenges and ethical things to think about as we integrate this technology into our schools and universities.
You're absolutely right. We need to be careful about bias in AI systems and make sure this technology is used fairly for everyone. We also need to make sure teachers and students are trained to use these tools effectively and responsibly.
That's crucial. As AI becomes more common in education, we have to be thoughtful and intentional about how we use it to make sure it benefits all learners.
The goal isn't to replace teachers with machines. It's to give them tools that help them do their jobs better and create more engaging and personalized learning experiences for their students.
Yeah, I agree. AI should enhance what humans can do, not replace them. And speaking of enhancement, our AI deep dive continues. We'll be taking a closer look at some of the most interesting and innovative applications of AI coming from these online communities. Stay tuned as we explore the cutting edge of this rapidly changing field.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it.
We've covered so much already, from OpenAI and DeepSeek to the advancements in AI and hardware, but we're just getting started.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
amazing. I love seeing how people are taking this cutting edge tech and using it to solve real problems and push boundaries. What are some of the things you're most excited about?
Well, one area that's really caught my eye is AI in creative fields. It might seem counterintuitive, but AI is becoming a super powerful tool for artists, musicians, writers, and all kinds of creative people.
AI as a muse.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating idea. I always thought AI was more about logic and analysis. How is it being used to boost creativity?
We're seeing it used to create art, compose music, even write poetry and screenplays. There are tools that can analyze a set of images or text and generate new content based on that.
This is like having an AI brainstorming partner
Oh,
to help explore new ideas. That's awesome. Can you give me some examples?
sure. There's this tool that can analyze your poems and generate new ones in a similar style. Or you can feed it a script, and it'll suggest plot twists or character arcs.
That's wild. It sounds like AI is not replacing human creativity, but giving us new tools and possibilities.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to traditional art forms. We're also seeing AI in video game design and fashion, creating things that would have been impossible just a few years ago.
It's like opening a whole new universe of creative possibilities. But let's move beyond the arts for a second and talk about healthcare.
Healthcare is definitely ready for AI to shake things up. It's a complex field with so much data, and AI is perfect for helping us understand it all.
Yeah, it makes sense. AI can analyze images, process data, and spot patterns we might miss. What are some of the most exciting things you're seeing in AI healthcare?
We're seeing AI used to diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately, to develop personalized treatments and even assist with surgery. Imagine an AI that can analyze a patient's genes, their medical history, and lifestyle to create a unique treatment plan just for them.
That sounds like the future. What about AI-assisted surgery? That seems a little sci-fi.
It's already happening. AI-powered robots are helping surgeons with complex procedures, providing more precision and control. And AI systems can monitor patients during surgery, alerting doctors to potential problems early on.
It's incredible how AI is already changing healthcare and making a difference. As these technologies improve, who knows what's possible?
It's true. AI has the potential to make healthcare accessible, affordable, and more effective for everyone.
It's exciting to think about. But let's switch gears again and talk about AI in business.
AI is becoming a crucial part of business, providing insights and capabilities that can really give companies an edge. From automating tasks and analyzing data to predicting trends and managing risk, AI is changing how businesses operate and make decisions.
It's like having a superpowered brain that can process tons of information. Can you give me some concrete examples of how AI is being used in business?
Sure, we're seeing AI used to create personalized marketing campaigns, optimize supply chains, and detect fraud. Imagine an AI that can analyze customer data and create targeted ads that are more likely to work.
That's amazing. It's like taking the guesswork out of marketing. What about supply chains?
AI systems can analyze data from sensors, weather patterns, and shipping schedules to find the best delivery routes and predict problems. This can help companies save money and make sure their products arrive on time.
Wow, that's impressive. So AI is making businesses more efficient, resilient, and responsive to customers. How about fraud detection?
AI systems can analyze financial transactions and look for patterns that suggest fraud. This can help prevent fraud and protect customers.
It's amazing how AI is helping keep our financial system safe. But beyond these specific examples, what are some of the bigger ways AI is impacting the business world?
AI is forcing businesses to rethink everything. They can't rely on gut feelings anymore. They need to use data to make decisions and use AI tools to stay ahead.
So AI is becoming a core part of how businesses operate.
Exactly. And those who don't adapt will get left behind.
It's adapt or die, right? Okay, let's move on from the corporate world and talk about AI in education.
AI has so much potential to change how we teach and learn. Imagine a world where every student has a personalized learning plan, tailored to their individual needs and goals.
That sounds amazing for both students and teachers. How is AI being used to create this personalized learning experience?
AI-powered tutoring systems can adjust to a student's learning style and pace, and give them targeted help. They can figure out where a student is struggling and offer extra practice.
It's like having a 247 tutor who knows exactly what you need.
Exactly. And AI isn't just about individual instruction. It can also help teachers create more engaging and interactive experiences.
That's fantastic. How are they doing that?
Imagine AI-powered virtual field trips that take students to ancient Rome or the Amazon, or AI games that teach complicated concepts in a fun way.
Wow. AI is taking learning beyond the classroom and making it more immersive. What about teachers? How does AI help them?
AI can help with things like grading, lesson planning, and identifying students who might need extra help. This gives teachers more time to focus on actually teaching and mentoring their students.
It's incredible how AI is transforming education at every level.
Absolutely. And as AI technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications, blurring the lines between human and machine intelligence in the classroom.
It's an exciting time to be in the world of education. But it's important to remember AI isn't a magic solution. There are still challenges and ethical things to consider as we use AI in our schools and universities.
You're absolutely right. We need to be aware of potential bias in AI systems and make sure they are used fairly. We also need to make sure teachers and students are trained to use these tools effectively and responsibly.
That's a really important point. As AI becomes more common in education, we need to be thoughtful about how we integrate it.
Absolutely. The goal isn't to replace teachers with machines. It's to give them tools to help them do their jobs better and create better learning experiences for students.
That's a great point. AI should be a tool to help us, not replace us. And speaking of helping us, our AI deep dive continues. We're going to look at some of the most interesting and innovative AI applications coming from these online communities. Stay with us as we explore the cutting edge of this exciting field. It's wild to think we've already talked about so much. The competition, the crazy advancements in AI, and even the ethical stuff. But you know what I love? Seeing how it's all actually being used. The real-world stuff. The clever workarounds, the aha moments happening in these AI communities.
It's where the rubber meets the road, for sure.
Exactly. And speaking of pushing the limits, remember those GPU limitations we talked about? Well, over on Discord, there's a lot of talk about that. People are saying even with 2 GPUs, they're struggling to run those big models locally. Seems like everyone wants more VRAM.
It shows how important the hardware is. As models get more complex, the hardware has to keep up. Makes you wonder, will we see special AI hardware become the standard? Or will those general-purpose GPUs evolve enough?
Tough question. But you know what else is amazing? All the tools and techniques that are making AI easier to use, even with those hardware limitations. It's like they're finding ways to democratize AI no matter what your setup is.
Yeah, it's incredible. We're seeing so many user-friendly interfaces, pre-built stuff, and streamlined workflows. It's making it easier for anyone to get started with AI.
That's what's so cool about these communities. They're not just complaining, they're finding solutions.
Yeah.
Like Aider V 0.73.0. It now works with both O3 Mini and R1. And users are saying it's made a huge difference in their coding.
I think Aider's a great example of how powerful these models can be when they're packaged in a way that's easy to use.
And it's not just about making things simpler for developers. These tools are letting people build AI applications we never thought possible.
Like Imagine, automatic reports with Llama Report, multi-agent systems with Llama Index. AI is being used to streamline work, automate complex tasks, and free up human potential.
It's really mind-blowing. But with all this tech stuff, we can't forget about the human side of it. These communities are more than just code and algorithms. They're about people sharing their knowledge, experiences, and passion for AI.
Absolutely. The real magic happens when people from all backgrounds and skill levels come together to learn from each other and push the limits of AI.
It's like a global AI think tank, constantly coming up with new ideas. That's what makes me so optimistic about the future of AI. There are definitely challenges, but Seeing the energy and collaboration in these communities gives me hope that we'll figure it out and use AI for good.
I agree. It's inspiring to see all this collaboration and innovation. It makes me believe that we're building a future where AI empowers us instead of replacing us.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our AI deep dive. We covered a ton of information today, but it's just a taste of what's happening in this incredible world of AI.
It's true. AI is changing so fast, and there's always more to learn. But hopefully, this deep dive gave you a sense of the excitement and the potential of AI.
Maybe it even spark some ideas for your own AI projects. If so, we'd love to hear about it. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the limits with AI.